our politics lead, Donald Trump is the presumptive Republican presidential nominee and a candidate in transition. And his transitory stances on things such as his proposed tax plan and whether he wants an increase in the minimum wage now become a whole lot more important. Policies to eliminate the $19 trillion national debt that he has suggested in recent days, well, many economists are warning they could be cataclysmic for the global economy. Sarah Murray is in New York today. Sarah, Trump is saying that he's being misquoted and mischaracterized by the media, but his statement seemed pretty clear. He suggested renegotiating how much the U.S. would pay back its creditors, and now he's talking about at least partially solving the debt problem by printing more money.
Yeah, Jake, and it's interesting talking to experts and economists to see how they're interpreting all of this. And they're essentially saying, look, it's like Donald Trump is floating proposals that might work in the business world, but these don't translate the same way when you're talking about the U.S. economy. And furthermore, they're even more baffled because they've seen Trump sort of try to moderate his comments about the debt. They've seen him moderate what he's been saying about his tax plan and go back and forth on the minimum wage. And they're just not quite sure what to make of it all.
Donald Trump may be the GOP nominee, but he's already giving Republicans anxiety.
I know more about debt than practically anybody. I love debt.
Professing his love of debt and making policy proclamations like this one when asked how he would manage debt payments. Telling CNBC, "I would borrow, knowing if the economy crashed, you could make a deal." Today, Trump's trying to moderate that stance, telling CNN he would try to buy back debt at a discount and adding the country won't default because America can always print more money.
First of all, you never have to default because you print the money. I hate to tell you, okay? So there's never a default.
Their suggestions, economists say, aren't feasible or could risk America's credit or lead to a spike in interest rates. Trump's also changing his tune on the minimum wage after saying wages were too high during the GOP primary.
So do not raise the minimum wage.
I would not raise the minimum.
Now he says he's open to an increase.
I don't know how people make it on $7.25 an hour. Now, with that being said, I would like to see an increase of some magnitude, but I'd rather leave it to the states.
And then there's the shift on taxes. Trump saying he's willing to negotiate the steep tax cuts he's proposed for the wealthy, but insists rich Americans won't pay more than they do now.
They go then and talk about like I'm giving a tax increase for the wealthy. I'm not. I said they may have to pay somewhat more than my proposal.
I understand.
My proposal is much less than people are paying right now. You understand?
A claim that's tough to square with Trump's own suggestion that he'd pay more under his tax plan.
It reduces or eliminates most of the deductions and loopholes available to special interests and to the very rich. In other words, it's going to cost me a fortune.
All of this comes as Trump is still struggling to unite the party. Today, Trump passed on the chance to pile on House Speaker Paul Ryan after this comment from Sarah Palin.
I think Paul Ryan is soon to be cantored as an Eric Cantor. His political career is over, but for a miracle.
And while Trump's take on Republican orthodoxy may leave some in the party groaning, Saturday Night Live is already celebrating its good fortune.
Does Donnie ever take a gander at the Holy Scripture?
Honestly, I love all the books in the Bible. I do. They're all terrific. Corinthians Part 2. Book of Revelations. 2 Genesis, 2 Furious.
Well, isn't that special?
So you can see SNL already having their fun with Donald Trump as a presumptive Republican nominee. But on a more serious note, we are, of course, looking ahead to this meeting later this week between Donald Trump and Paul Ryan. And Paul Ryan told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel if Trump is not comfortable with him, wants him to step down as the co-chairman of the convention, he will do that. So far, Trump has not called for that to happen. So we'll see what comes out of that meeting on Thursday, Jake.
All right, Sarah Murray, thanks so much.